Daniel Evans, how are you?
Hiya, I'm doing really good, thanks, mate. Really good, thanks. It's going well.
Yeah. Now, we were just talking about the weather just before we started this, and you're saying it's pretty damn cold where you are. Where are you at the moment?
Well, I'm a bit far away from you guys. I'm up on the east coast, not far from Barcelona, on the border of Catalonia. But it's sunny, but God, it's freezing. It's really cold. I should come down there, come and see you guys. I think have a weekend away.
What a damn good idea. Yeah, come down. We'll find you somewhere to stay. No problem.
Great stuff.
Now, the roller coaster that it is, the X Factor, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
That was really something quite special for you.
Oh, it was an amazing experience. I mean, I can't tell you how terrifying it is being on that stage, but when you get through it, or each week you get through it, it's so, you learn so much, and it is terrifying, but it's like a roller coaster. You know, you think, oh my God, I'm going to die. You know, there were times when I was going to come out on stage behind those sliding doors, and you think you're going to collapse. I really suffered from the nerves, but when you get through the night, and especially when you get the yes vote and they say, right, you're through to the next round, it's like, I can't tell you the elation you have. It's unbelievable. And you just can't help but learn from it. And they do say, well, it doesn't kill you, it only makes you stronger. And, you know, I found that out, especially on that show. But I've been able to fulfill dreams and ambitions that I never would have done it in any other way. You know, singing with a 32-piece band and doing the X Factor tour and playing at O2 and stepping out of Wembley and stuff like that. You know, that's what dreams are made of. And I've got nothing but good things to say about the show. You know, it's an amazing platform.
Now, the one thing I did want to ask you just mentioned it there, was the big arena shows. That must have been an amazing experience. I mean, how many thousand people?
You know what? I didn't even realise that. You know, someone said to me, I never even knew there was a tour afterwards. I mean, I used to follow the show, but I never realised there was this big thing that happens afterwards. And someone said to me, you know, when you finish then, you go on a tour. And I'm thinking, yeah, it'd be Butlins or a few nightclubs somewhere. I didn't realise until the week before I went up, someone said, you know you're through to the tour now. I went, yeah, that'd be fun. You know you're going to be singing at O2. And I said, what? No, don't be silly. I didn't even know. So that, for me, was like another dream come true. And it was a whole extra addition to the show that I never expected to gain from it, and it was an amazing experience. That, for me, doing that tour was something that, you know, I mean, how often do people get to go on a stage like that, you know? So I always say to people, when people say to me, oh, I don't know if I should audition, I'm not sure, the pressure, I always say, whatever, just go for it. Because if you don't try, you'll never know. Because if you can have the chance to do that kind of stuff, it's amazing.
Yeah, that was something else I was going to ask you, actually. Would you recommend the experience to people?
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong, I suffered for the first few weeks, and I look back now on YouTube, and my performances weren't great, and I put my hand up to it and take the criticisms fairly, you know, because I can't tell you the pressure. But when you get through, after a few weeks, I personally took me a few weeks to get used to it. Once I started getting through it, I started getting to the point where I think you can see I got more confident and started really enjoying myself. And I say to anyone, look, if you can put up with that little bit of pressure, then it's the most amazing experience. And I always say, don't let that put you off. You know, because that's what it's about. That's show business. If you can't handle that, then you're not going to handle show business. And you're going to get hated, and you're going to get people that are going to say nasty things. But that's part of it. As long as your family and the people you care about are behind you, that's all that should matter. And I always say to people, go for it, because you know, you never know unless you try.
There's one thing I really want to know. What's it really like backstage? What is it like between all the acts? Are they all as good friends as they seem?
Well, on our show, honest to God, it was really good. It was a really good team. And even the producers of the show said that the first year we've had, everyone has been such a good team. And we all supported each other. But it is chaos back there. Not because there's any problems. It's just, I remember watching the show this year and the live shows, and Dermot's on there, and it all looks really cool. But I can tell you, behind those doors, and what you don't see, it's complete. It's kind of organised chaos, but people are running around panicking, and my eyelashes falling off, or especially the girls, you know, they're like, oh, my shoe's broken, or you know, there's always something that's wrong. And for me, I think I was the oldest, you know, I had to be the responsible one. They used to call me the daddy of the group, so I had to try and be relaxed and a bit cool and be like, it's okay, guys, relax, you know. But inside, it's like it's terror. So I tried to be the cool one, but to be honest, it is terrifying. But we were lucky this year. I mean, I've heard all kinds of stories about trouble people have had before on other shows, but I can honestly say we were a really good bunch, and it was an honour to be with these guys. You know, it was a great experience.
Now, since the end of X Factor, as regards you actually appearing on there and then doing the tour and everything, what have you actually been up to?
Well, I've been, you know, I've been really lucky to. I didn't get signed, unfortunately, which is it's rare for anyone, you know, because I went off. I think I was 6th place, so it's hard to get signed from this. Normally, only the winner and maybe the top 2 or 3 after that might get some kind of contract. So I knew the situation there. I think there was not much chance of me getting signed, but I wanted to really concentrate on music, and I never really took it seriously before. My dad was a singer, but he was an amazing singer, and I never really sang. I used to play keyboards because I thought, well, Dad's the singer, so I won't bother singing. It wasn't till actually when I first came over to Spain about 7 years ago now, that I actually started singing properly, and just pure by chance, someone saw me in a karaoke bar and said, "Why don't you do singing out here?" And I'm like, "Well, I live kind of middle of nowhere. There's not a lot of people here, like English people especially. I mean, I've actually had to learn a few Spanish songs, but I basically sort of started doing these little karaoke nights and stuff, and then X Factor came along and everything changed. So now, I've always written music before and always played keys, but it was always my dad was the singer, and I guess I can only say that I learned so much from that show, because we had vocal coaches and stuff, and on the tour as well. I think I learned more on the tour working with the musicians, because I must admit I spent more time in the musicians' dressing room than I did with us guys, because I just loved the whole creative process. So I've concentrated on writing now. I've got loads of songs together. I just finished an album, which I'm so proud of. I mean, there's only one song on there that's mine. I thought it's a bit presumptuous to throw my music at people yet. They might not even like what they hear here, so give this a try first. But all my own arrangements, we've managed to get this album done. And I've called it, the actual title of the album is after a beautiful soul track on there called No Easy Way. And it's ironic because that has been the case. It's been so hard getting this album out there, because I'm doing it as an independent, so I've got no big label behind me, and getting the musicians together has been really tough. And because I do my own arrangements, so I have to choose where the drums go and where this goes and stuff. It's great when it comes together, but when you have difficulties trying to get the musicians together, it's pretty stressful as well. But it's all been done now, and I'm proud to say I've got this 15-track album now. We've just released a single on downloads called Open Arms, which was a song I did, one of my favourites on the show. And the album's going to be out, my brain's gone, 22nd of Feb. 22nd of Feb, the album is on physical copies from Amazon and downloads on iTunes. But I'm really proud of it. It's emotional, it's heartfelt. Some of the favourite songs from the TV show are on there, plus some other little hidden gems I've put in and put my own touch on. And I'm hoping people are going to like it.